Hello friends, Libluini here for the penultimate video of Xibalba and Found Minnesota and sinkholes. Yeah, you might have noticed that Asphodel was winning last time, and they're winning now even harder. Someone put up his own global spell. A pitiful prophecy for a pitiful would-be god. Given close the Gale Gate. Ah yes, the Gale Gate. It gives you air gems and spreads hurricanes all over the world. Always funny for you. Clackety, don't talk. Backety and clickety, patron of arbitrators, enemy of infants, queen of civilization, has opened up the Gale Gate. I have no idea who this is, because my memory is full of holes, but since all the slots were full, one was picked at random to be combated against, and Asphodel's Mother Oak was dispelled a bit late. Then in Xibalba we had the Titan of War and Wisdom showing up here as some emergency teleportcaster. We're loaded up with gems and magic paths to do something sneaky and hopefully stop this giant wave of monstrosities. Well, his spellcasting was interrupted, so this is probably not how the player expected us to go. We have foul vapors, we have relief, we have rigor mortis, yeah. That one living titan. Oh, and howl. Okay, that's a bit overkill here. Yeah, that's not much fatigue, so whatever he was trying to do, he couldn't do it. Maybe there was another part of his army that didn't teleport with him? Sadly, yeah, that's a sea of green here. Oh yeah, that take a while, but this Titan is soon to be dead and gone. Neo-Genesis, Eastern Orthodoxy, the Titan of War and Wisdom. Your hit point count goes slowly down, that's kind of awful, and your fatigue is rising because you're getting slapped in the face with all those food ones. Yeah, and now the game is over. Still a bit healthy, but this Titan is now asleep. That's why Asphodel's undead are a bitch to fight, because normal undead may disease you, may kill you, may paralyze you, but at least they're not all, every single one of them, equipped with the ability to make you take a nap. Most undeads are just walking skeletons and shit. A bit spooky, but at least you can fight them. So, next up, our assassination attempts. Both apparently attacked this guy while he was asleep, which was one after another, and he murdered both of them. Oh, that's some comedy action here. Hello, friend Frog is here. Wait, woof, woof. He's still asleep. Sleep attack. So he does take some damage here from our hits, but he's a big beefy boy, and our frogs are not really equipped to handle this. This one is already dead. Oh yeah, they're fighting it out, and that was it. Attack skill 13. Hey, that's nice. Possibly because he has lots of experience points and is enlarged. Ha! Yeah, that's some nice fuckery. So, normal frogs don't really work out as assassins here. The second is just the same thing with the other frog. Oh, this time he is even awake, I guess, because he already did have to fight off a frog assassin. Oh yeah, poor guy, couldn't even get back to his bed before the next frog appeared. I wonder if I could have attacked him 10 times or something, that would be funny. A bit of wastefulness, of course, on my part. Gaeta, Pirene attacks someone with a large chunk of wine ogres, which, despite being plant monsters, don't have sleep wine, so they are of a lesser kin. Free for everyone. Scaleria loses a province, but that's all. The game is over soon anyway. Then Xibalba. Scaleria sends in a gnome and 8 thaumaturgs who actually killed something this time before being overwhelmed. Another last-ditch effort of trying to do something before the hammer comes down. Yeah, they try to commune themselves up. And then there comes a lot of Marauders, trying to do as much damage as possible. And contributions come up, but there's just too many of the green horde. There is no way you can just stop all of the plans of the entire fucking universe just with a couple of mages. A nice attempt, but sadly the only thing of note is that both those attempts at doing something has forced the Asphodel army to use lots of gems casting their main battle spells. So if there was a third army, that would have actually done something useful. And too bad, because of the way living frogs and wells of pestilence interact, it would have been impossible for me to defend this throne anyway, even if I had something capable of taking on over 1,500 fucking units. Then we had our big battle in White Lake. I am scared to look. And in Mu. Oh, our fortress. So this army is dead right now. No, oh, so he marched off. Well, okay. So this army is still under our command, I guess. And we have this battle in Silvermark, where for some fucking reason we actually managed to kill 53 units before getting murderized with extreme prejudice. And our dead mage now gets back as a white mage here in Delka. Oh, that's boring. So he looks like a human now. Shrunk down in size a bit. And didn't even get another magic path for his trouble. Well, at least I can give him his stupid staff back here. And don't try to die again, okay? Because next time will be permanent. Next up on the list. Exchange the Mu. Look +1. Good omens. Yeah, I mean, the siege is over for us. But now White Lake. Our big army. And a lot of mages survived. It's good. And of course, a large chunk of our army dies as planned. But then, to my own surprise, we actually kill more than we lose, including one of the Olm Sages. And more importantly, of the Earth Elementals, we kill everyone. All 62 of them are fucking gone. And then, to my own surprise, the Great Olms with their capability of mind blasting all die. And we kill all of the Shard Guards, the expensive sacreds he brought with him. So, while possibly some of the mages, I mean the Oracles of the Ancients survived, and one of the Olm Sages survived, but with the many enemy provinces around, it could be that, well, possibly one of them survived, but holy fucking hell. He even lost more mages than I did, although to be fair, we don't know the full story. So let's watch what the fuck was going on here. Because on one side is our giant block of assholes. I've even reinforced the front line with our assholes, because I assumed there would be a huge amount of infantry here waiting here. But if there is province defense, then it's completely going under this enormous block of shittery here. There is, of course, the giant Earth Elementals, who will soon be even stronger, and the Shard Guards, also enlarged to giant size. They're actually already giant size, but you know what I mean. Oh, I guess those fish people are the defenders here. Those Ichti guys. If I can get them here, I really need a new mouse. Holy fuck. So, Ichti. So, there are some, but there are so many enemy troops that are kind of hidden from sight. Then we have no, I was clicking on those other guys. The defenders of the halls. Another fairly interesting unit. And like all Agarthan units have the attack skill of a rotten tomato. But hey, good siege scores at least. And there's the second line of Shard Guards who have at least some attack skill, so I can actually sometimes shove that Shard Glaive up your ass. And of course huge chunks of Mind Blasters with infinite range to paralyze you. And also Sacreds, so they get also buffed, like being enlarged. So it's a hell of an army on the other side, and while we have frogs. We have squads of hidden shatter casters, all those level 2 mages among our front lines, who are already buffing themselves up to level 3. And then we have these guys here, of course, our standard frogs. Not too shabby with attack skill 13 and 14 on the experienced units. So only some of these guys have this. All the newer guys are a lot shittier. This one is, for example, only attack skill 12. That's fresh out of recruitment here. Similarly, we have basic frogs here, who aren't any better than the shard guards of the other side. And the difference being is if a glaive connects with one of these guys, they're instantly dead, while they actually have to hit the guards multiple times to bring one down. It's like tiny humans fighting elephants here. And of course the Earth Elementals will just kill everyone down to death in immensely short orders. Then we have the second row of even more frogs and some mages. A lot of those are a bit fresher out of recruitment and therefore have shittier stats. And then there's our back row of bodyguards and water mages. So let's see where this is going. Yeah, blessing. Now everyone has at least some additional power here. Buffing spells and water elementals are being mixed in with our mages. We now have affliction resistance. Very good, now you just have to survive the battle. And they have massive reinvigoration. Which, okay, that's nice to have. It means they can fight for longer. But of course, as soon as this block of elementals reaches them, they'll be dead weak. Oh, shark! Someone killed the shark. Somewhere... fuck, the shark died too fast. But yeah, we also summoned schools of sharks to the battlefield. It'll be interesting to see what happens then. Yeah, sharks are showing up somewhere. But since the line extends to... Ah, here are the two little sharkies. Ah, shark friends. Tiny strength, tiny size. But they can hit and then do some minor amount of damage. So the only reason we didn't saw them is because the liner is fucking long and thin. So right now we don't see any shatter mage going up. Instead our mages spend their time buffing everyone around them. There's just no reason to cast shatter when the enemy isn't in range, I suppose. Friendly currents is up, so now we can move faster. Our combat speed is up from frog-like shuffle to at least a little bit normal. Our friends here are slow as fuck. Guys, you are fish people. Sure you have legs, but slowly... Okay, the Agarthan troops are even slower. Shark attack is up, which means now bigger sharks will arrive. Like those fuckers here. No, not the shrubbery or whatever, the shark here. Now those are beefy. Size 8 means, yeah. They're even stealthy, which means nothing, of course, for battlefield humans. Need not eat. I guess this is meant to simulate that they're sharks and will eat tons of fish. Their attack skill is a lot worse, since they're big and slow and ugly. But their bite, however, is fairly strong. So yeah, there can be a nasty surprise if they suddenly show up in the back row, which these of course didn't. But here we have our friend the shark attacking the enemy, like they should. Small shark misdefender of the hordes, that's kind of cute. So now the important thing starts to happen here. More small sharks fighting in the back row. More buffing. The first of more water elementals show up. Frozen Heart gets used somewhere, because I guess some target wandered into range. More buffing, because the fucking elementals are slow as double fucking. Earth Elemental tried to trample Small Shark. We evaded most of the attack, 1 point of damage. So right now... Oh yeah, and of course the sharks are even attacking us. So the chance for this is supposed to be smaller, but I guess with 2 big armies taking up most of this battle space, it's inevitable that there is some friendly fire. And the first of us starting to use Shatter. And yeah, now that the Earth Elementals are close enough, more and more of our mages use Shatter, which means they will blow large chunks out of the Earth Elementals, hopefully. Ah yeah, the Great Orms start Mind Blasting and gaining Fatigue as the curse. And of course there are 75 of them, so they absolutely buried our mages using Shatter on the front ranks. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see what is happening here, except of course all of those guys here have all different kinds of hit points. I have to look if they get smaller, then they got hit and have changed size. Already a little bit more buffed, I think. Let's see what happens next. Yeah, of course, zero damages, because they have too high protection for our tiny spears. Oh, our frogs are the worst. 2 damage, good for you, little warrior. And of course now the massacre begins. And I love how we have over a dozen mages casting Shatter now. But while some of the Earth Elementals have already disappeared, every time I want to look at what damage they're doing actually, our assholes over here blast the message box with 75 casts of Mind Blast and bury everything else. Of course, lots of us getting trampled or warriors getting smashed. Sharks are fighting. There are even more sharks hitting our lines. Fucking hell. Oh, but a shark has shown up here on the back foot here. Maybe you'll nibble at some of those stupid Mind Blasters. Oh, there are some with obsidian club sword and does more damage than the spear guys. Well, I guess less hitting the resist and more hitting the resist hole or something. Oh, a shark got killed. Okay, some of our mages are still too far away from the Earth Elementals. There is still some guys using stuff like Groupstone skin. But hey, if it helps, it helps. God, there are so many sharks. They are actually supposed to show up more in the enemy background. I don't know if just the pathing doesn't really work because of this idiotically long line here in the middle, or what gives. It's kind of shitty from the game to put all those sharks I have summoned on my side of the battlefield. Someone of these guys here has been blessed by the shark god or something. And of course, lots of shatter casts still, but most of our frogs are kind of dying right now. Yeah, that's kind of incredible. And of course, large chunks of our frogs are still being hit by paralyze or mind blasts. I think some of them may be even including our mages. Small water elementals are starting to show up, summoned by our back row to reinforce our lines, and since they can't be mind blasted, it's... yeah. At this point I would expect to lose, but of course the assholes over here, like all mind blasters do, are collecting fatigue, and they have high encumbrance to begin with, so every time they do something they get a lot of fatigue, and Yeah, so 21 isn't too much right now, but wow. Why the fuck? Okay, 134. So I'm guessing what happens here is that not every one of these great arms can find a target. And if they have no target, they just do nothing. For a range of 100, I would say there should be lots of targets for them. But that's Dominion's AI for you. You would expect that the arms just target someone who isn't targeted right now. But apparently no, they all target randomly, and if someone decides to hit the same target, apparently they just don't do anything. And I'm just speculating here, I don't actually know. But it's kind of funny, so a lot of these fucks are now deeply asleep, while the others are taking up the slack. So they are only about half as effective as you'd expect. Typical mind blasters. I've played Riley, and those have deep sea fish mind blasters, and yeah, if you depend on them too much, you're just getting a painful lesson. There's still massive fighting going on everywhere, with our army mostly fighting sharks at this point, which is kind of ridiculous. Only in the center are our frogs fighting the actual enemy. There is absolutely not a single fucking shark except this one over here. What a rip-off. Yeah, that's the problem if you rely on random spells like this one. I'm guessing all these guys started out coming from the middle and then ended up fighting mostly our frogs because they got paralyzed in place. Well, the enemy is so fucking slow that they haven't reached the middle of the battlefield yet. There are even some guys using paralyzing poison. On what? The shark? The earth elementals? Well, that is probably not doing it. They are the great arms tiring themselves out. The fuck? Do they still hit the same guys over and over again? So wonder our lines aren't breaking. I guess they can't be breaking because a lot of our frogs are getting paralyzed or stuck fighting sharks. Well, the arms aren't really working here because the attack skills are so low. They apparently have trouble hitting this shark here. So he's trying to nibble at them the entire time, distracting a couple of them. And then of course the massive amount of sharks fighting our troops. Oh, a new shark has appeared. In the middle of the earth elementals at least. But still, overall I think the sharks are doing more damage to us than to the enemy. I think if we had Conjuration 7 I would have instead just blasted out tons more water elementals. Oh, a shark gets a permanent chest mount. 2 sharks get permanent chest mounts. So more summon of courage from our priests. So that's one of the reasons our frogs don't run away, I guess. They keep getting their morale restored from the back row. Fascinating. So no one really uses shatter anymore because a lot of our guys are stuck fighting sharks. But the elementals aren't really making headway either, to my surprise. I'm guessing because all those buffing spells prevented them from just steamrolling our frogs. So most of them are still basic frogs, so I'm guessing we must have missed a lot of shatter casters. And oh wait, yeah, there are a lot of frogs mixed in with sometimes really tiny elementals. So I'm guessing the stupid Olms have still completely blocked the shatter casts from sight. We are not seeing them, but more and more earth elementals are disappearing. So now there is a lot of normal fighting. Yeah, the water elementals have entered the battlefield. and start fighting the elementals of the other side. So most of them are stuck punching sharks. Now that's ridiculous. So the gems I used to summon elementals are now being used to fight the sharks I summoned using gems. No, that's what a waste of water gems. Holy fucking shit. It's unbelievable. Finally, some sharks have decided to join the battle on our side. But it's still ridiculous. And of course, I think a lot of those are constantly getting paralyzed. Because they should be able to hit the sharks at least. Now the normal troops start showing up. Oh my fucking god, Olms, could you please not? Holy fucking shit. Everyone is getting paralyzed, everyone! Can I even see this here? So some mages are still visible using Shatter. So I'm guessing what happens mostly is we cast Shatter often enough that the frogs can occasionally actually kill the earth elementals they are fighting. But I really don't want to know how many of those frogs are actually frozen in place from those 75 Olms. Of course, here and there some measures are too far away from the dwindling number of earth elementals. And of course the guys on the other side of the battlefield are still spamming the stupid range attacks. Holy fucking shit. Oh, that's a fucking long battle. Just look at this. The fuck are you doing? The enemy is on the wrong side here. Yeah, over barrage. I think, yeah, a lot of our mages are actually keep getting paralyzed. It's kind of funny. So basically everything is going wrong for our side. It's kind of funny that we still ended up winning. Yeah, and of course every time one of those shucklefucks wanders in range of one of our frozen mages, the mage suddenly wakes up and we cast Shatter. And then the elemental gets a little bit smaller. They are, of course, can regenerate, but it seems the mix of normal troops and Shatter is working out. Oh god, there is so much paralyzing going on, it's incredible. What I'm getting by this is, first off, the sharks were a lot less useful than more water elementals. And second, not even a block of 75 Mind Blasters can help an army losing the fight like this. Combination of stabbing and shattering is apparently far too strong for the block of earth elementals in front of us. There aren't even that many left. I really would like to see how much damage we're actually doing, but the Olms would need to stop fucking spamming their Mind Blasts for a second here. Yeah, Shatter. Shatter is still being used, and now the elementals are almost gone. Now our water elementals are slowly advancing. We're surviving numbers of frogs. Lots of frogs are running away or still being mind blasted into standing still. So, more and more of the super elementals are getting wiped out now that Yeah, so the elementals are mostly gone. The Shattercasters will probably start using buffing spells again soon. And then maybe something more useful like Frozen Heart against the living enemies. Some sharks are stuck here. But yeah, that's kind of funny. Let's see what the Olms are doing. Well, some of them are in fairly good shape, and some, yeah, okay. Those are quite healthy looking. Because the battle has been going on for long enough that some of them have probably regained some stamina from sleeping for so long. Okay, this is ridiculous, all those small clumps of fighting. Here we have sharks fighting our troops, sharks fighting our troops fighting the enemy, sharks fighting the enemy, our troops having wiped out the enemy advancing, our troops fighting sharks. Complete and total chaos, in other words. The sharks in the middle are apparently sometimes attacking the enemy, but mostly us, so yeah. Definitely next time I should, if I rare walk into a mega battle like this, spend my gems on more earth elementals, water elementals, sorry. Water nation, of course. Sharks are nice, but with only 1 or 2 sharks showing up in the enemy back row, it was really not our day here. And of course, far too many of our troops kept getting paralyzed. Of course, now that the enemy elementals are gone, we still have a shit ton of our water elementals. And now the problem is that our Garden troops are shit. So, I don't want to sugarcoat this. They are big and beefy, but on par with many of our frog units, which is not a good thing. Really, without a good blast to stabilize them and without their mind blasters paralyzing us, there's not much you can do. And with their earth elementals gone, this tiny group of idiots in our elementals are now slaughtering the bastards. And oh no, the Olms are advancing. The battle has gone on for long enough again that the AI has now switched to general attack mode. Which means they aren't using their mind blasts again, and they have to actively touch us to life drain us. And that of course means they're getting slaughtered since their defense is so shitty. And good luck life draining if you have. Yeah, let's try to speed this thing up here. So yeah, so our elementals are just murderizing the enemy in huge clumps. And I'm amazed that there are still some of our frogs fighting. And some undead now showing up behind them. Yeah. The trouble is, the elementals are faster than the Olms, so they killed a shit ton of them. And the end result is 4/5 of our sacreds died. Our sheep fuckers. Over half of our sheep frogs died. None of our mages. Then of the enemy side, one of the great Olm sages got overrun in our advance. All of the defenders of the hall dead. All earth elementals dead. Great Olms all dead. Shard guards all dead. It's complete wipeout. Only 3 of the 4 leaders even made it out. And of course the province defense was pulverized. Retreat details of course are a lot uglier. Because a lot of our mages run away during the fight. So, aha, 1 dead. Plus of course the boots he was wearing. Let's count the dead mages. Retreated. Oh, so only 1 mage died on retreat. So that is at the cost of roughly 10 earth gems we wiped out. However many gems he had to use to get all those earth elementals. I'm being generous. I think the spell he's using gives you 3 elementals for 2 gems or something. So still, this is now a war of attrition, or it would have been without Asphodel. But the Great Olms are a lot harder to replace. The Shard Guards as Sacreds, yeah, as big beefy guys, they cost a lot more than our idiots. Really, if it weren't for the obscene resource costs, we could probably get at least 2 of these for each of his Shard Guards. So roughly, if I give you approximate numbers, I think he lost a lot more than we did. And of course, Earth Elementals can only be summoned back in his capital. And Sacreds can also only recruit it in the capital mostly. I'm not really up to date on my middle-aged Dominion 6 Agatha lore. Could be I can recruit them somewhere else, but the Earth Elementals can only be replaced back in the capital anyway, because there is the only place where this special magic ritual to get you permanent Earth Elementals even works. Also, I think only these with the specific type of mage here, the Oracle of the Ancients, and since they are also big, beefy and expensive, we can't have hundreds of them, maybe not even dozens. So yeah, it would take a good long while to replace this army, and remember, one of our armies is completely untouched in Mu. Holy hell, so this was a complete wipeout, simply because we had hundreds of frogs more than he had units. And now this army is actually stronger than before, because many of the Ahas armed with boots ended up on this side of the border, and even some of the surviving frogs. So let's put those to good use here. Well, now that's a big beefy army, and of course several of the guys are here. Well, let's put them in front. As we've seen, thanks to the many units around them, they can actually survive. I think some of them actually priests, but hey, more targets for the enemy to paralyze or something. So now that was a colossal battle. I'm still kind of surprised we actually pulled this off. I mean, with how much went wrong in that battle, it's kind of funny to contemplate that this could have been even more of a massacre if we actually hadn't summoned School of Sharks. Like, holy shit, this didn't work like I planned. Shark attack, of course, is even bigger. So probably School of Sharks is not really important. Huh. Wherever a living being is wounded. This explains, so they are shot up where the most ugly part of the battle was, which was right in the middle of... Well, wow, okay, so let's go Water Elementals all the way here. Not that it matters, because the game will soon end, but just for ease of mind, let's take this shit out. There is still one turn until the game is over. So this army is now fully operational. And, well, let's look at the strategic map here. There is a new army here. No idea if the Magma Children can go underground or not. It might have been either a defensive force or an attempt of a follow-up. I'm guessing that with the exception of the Oracle of the Ancients that must have fled from the battlefield, that's probably a good chance that they can't stay here. The sad thing is, if this would have... No, we can... The sad thing is here, these guys, I cannot put to research for a while, because these guys are kind of wiped out now after the big battle here. I could have, yeah, stand still here and wait, but it seems like a losing proposition, so instead I'm putting some defense up here. And since I am still running blind here, I'll have them walk back here, since right now we already have a big army, and this one has to recruit more frogs to get up to strength here. You have the bronze spear and with the obsidian club sword, and apparently we need a mix of both. So we have slash damage and pierce damage. Oh wait, this is also counted as blunt damage, which holy fucking shit, that explains why they were good against other elementals. See how many I can squeeze out here. Okay, so things are looking up. And ahas, of course. So let's also regain some strength here. And in Beatwa we have these clowns here. Okay, well, less flyers here and some more swingers of big clubs. So now we are regaining strength a bit faster and we still have some money left over. Beatwa, and here is recruiting ahas. And since we only lost one of our overpowered assholes, we are kind of a good position even if our army got torn apart into two halves. So this army is now recovering here and getting up to at least 200 frog strength. We have 63 units here and 71 units here. Yeah, okay, sacreds are wiped out of course, but it's still 150 and we're gaining strength at an accelerating past here. Okay, so the clowns on the surface of course have to stay below. All those flyers I can't use against underwater enemy is kind of sad really. So that's only 16 units actually here. And we're regaining 1, 2, 3, something like 15 here and 15 here. 1, 2, 3, yeah, so about 30 per turn. So those 150 will be to 180 next turn. We're regaining frog strength rather fast here. And we have this army, this can now move completely without any trouble. In fact, I can take Buluk here. When I find him and leave him here as a defense and then move down here to wait. Oh, a single ancient lord. Well then let's fuck him off over. I mean, we are still running blind here, but we wiped out several big major stacks all thrown together, so we should have a coast that it's fairly clear. And this army now has their own Shattercasters. So if now a smaller army without a giant stack of Mind Blasters shows up, they are probably really deeply fucked. And this means this guy can get all preaching here. And then he can go back to froggening it up here. A Lakam Warrior is one with a Stone Spear and a net. Not really useful. And we have these guys which are shitty versions of our frogs. Ah, that's funny. So we have underwater frogs who are shittier versions than our frogs on the other side. Well, at least I can get more ahas here. So I can use frozen hearts. So they have their uses. Even without the good old earth boot sheet. So we had one big victory. Mu is 3. We regain White Lake. And next turn we'll probably regaining the Docks. Our first army is now recovering. And too bad that I can't use this colossal stack of flyers. Because thanks to our huge losses we are in no position to fight anyone but Agatha, who also took huge losses. So while we aren't winning of course, we also aren't getting stomped. And next turn we'll probably see at least one huge attempt at prying out Asphodel from Silvermark, because both players of Scaleria and Asphodel have agreed to have one big stage battle, so this game can properly end right after. So we, thanks to this agreement, get to see one more turn of our armies advancing and pushing the invaders out of our territory. In fact, if the game wouldn't just end next turn, I would probably put my approximately 200 frogs together in 1 or 2 turns and push back into utter deep here to drive our water borders out far further afield. And then of course pushing further down south to regain our 3 lost provinces here. And then, well, research is fucking hell. But we are back to at least 500, so in about 2 turns we will be at Coronation 7 finally. And then we would be back on the road to Lost Land. So thanks to this one big victory, it looks like our frogs have turned ways around. Too bad that it doesn't matter because Asphodel will win, but hey, at least our frogs had one big victorious fight. Fountain, Minnesota, thank you for your duty. Libluini out. Libluini here. Hello friends, I'm back, and this is the last turn of Fountain, Minnesota, God of Xibalba. Yeah, we didn't manage to sink any lands, because rejoice, the true god has ascended and it's not Fountain, Minnesota. Too bad, we will have to try sinkholing the world another time. Because a Carrion Lord of Asphodel has finally claimed my throne and won the game. Apparently, the main reason of the confusion that led to the mega backstabbing was, as claimed on Discord by a couple people, that most people, including me, to be fair, it took me a good long while to notice this, but one of our thrones is a level 3 throne. Here. We have a level 1 throne and a level 3 throne, and everyone else is level 2. So a lot of people seemingly missed that one of the thrones of Asphodel was already level 3. So he wasn't just missing 1 point, but like we observed a couple turns ago, he was already winning. So now he has 1. We have a last turn to look at what's going on here. Like Pyrene declaring a prophet who will immediately be depowered now that we have a real god. And there is a small battle in Eagle Reach Mountains, and last attempt at doing some shit before everything ends. And a huge mega battle where Scaleria very nearly takes the lead with killing over 1000 units in a staged battle that, yeah, okay, even if Scaleria had won, the throne claiming in the same turn means the battle is still over for all of us. But we can take a look. Giant hordes of undeads, detailed battle log, and go. Yeah. Hordes of undead have their own quality, especially if you have mages that can power up and create more undead on command. Then we can all hit each other. Yeah, with relief going up, Wilburn Artist going up, Howl going up, and Soul Drain. Soul Drain is what Scaleria is using, since Soul Drain is this here, a battle enchantment that hits the entire battlefield and very slowly kills people by giving everyone 2 damage, armor negating if they fail their rolls. And because it's an astral spell, it can also hit unlife. So despite it being described as a well of unlife on the battlefield, because it hits souls and not just the bodies, it can target everything and damage everything and everyone, even if it is a chair. Because if a chair is moving around, clearly, even if it's mindless, it has something like a soul, apparently. Anyway, this spell makes no prisoners. The only way to avoid getting damaged is your magic resistance. So this is a high-risk spell, of course, because a lot of abominations on Asphodel sides are something like this here, with hit points in the double digits, while most of Scaleria's shit is skeletons, aptly, with hit points in the single-digit range. I can only hope that it's not working on... Well, obviously it works on the undead of Asphodel, so I'm guessing it works on both sides. It takes a while, of course, since it only triggers every turn. And it's of course a high risk because it's also slowly killing the mages Scaleria has on the battlefield. The only difference is thanks to the community, the communion they have going, the deadly damage is rerouted to the communion slaves first, and communion masters like this one will survive for a while longer, since all the big spells are already going after a while. Now it's getting insane because both sides are giant orcs, right? Of course, both sides can create more others, and it seems Skidaria just doesn't have two numbers. While Soul Drain does a number, it does a number on both sides. Here, these tiny mannequins, of course, will be flattened by Soul Drain. But also, a lot of the undead of the other side, moral broken is good. They're mindless and can't break, so they still want to run away. But it looks like the mages are all dead and gone now. There seems to be, yeah, so that was a massive wipeout, but hey, at least some of the mages got away, and thanks to the Soul Drain they made a gigantic kill count. And then the undeads fought it out themselves, dishing out and taking it in turn. Final battle count 615 dead on one side, well, re-dead, and over 1049 re-dead on the other side. Still very closely a victory for Asphodel. And now one side still has an army and the other doesn't. But again, this was a last staged battle because obviously since Scaleria was one turn too late, even if they had won, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Damn Stu rules. Then next up we had a battle in the dark, where my army flattened the defenders and retook the province for us. And yeah, I mean, I can't do shit now. But you know, also, yeah, are slowly regaining money. Did we have some random events? Well, units have been healed during the reign of the a benevolent star rises. Xibalba, oh that's it. We got one last event thanks to our luck scales, and this is the amount of money we would have needed to start recruiting mages again, just in case Agatha comes back with a new army. Also, one of our scouts was taken out by Asphodel just so. Abizia, Dr. Inferno's rule has ended. Dr. Inferno, the god of Abizia, is permanently gone just one turn before we all get banished to the hells. Well, yeah, so as you can see, there is not much left over now. Agatha has no new troops they can send underwater, so this scary army here is kind of irrelevant until he gains enough of elementals back to kick us out. So obviously, if the game would be going further, we just would slow march down here and retake our missing provinces. And I would of course stay the hell away from land until I have lost land ready, and then I would simply start turning those provinces into water. We still have enough gems to do this, so my first strike would be on Elmore, of course, since it blocks all those magma children. I think if he'd stay there, we could even kill 50% of them, and of course magma children underwater can't really survive, so they would be fleeing to the surrounding provinces. Then I would see at first if I can gain a foothold underwater, because obviously if we can manage to target cave provinces and fill them up from above, this would mean we could then take out Smothered. Of course, killing half the population in both sides would... Well, okay, Amorist. Yeah, the population 0, so we would do 0 damage. We would only hurt the army sitting there. So good for us. At Smother Dark, of course. Yeah, that suffered a lot, as the player from Agatha told me. Amor's domain killed a lot of people down here, so while these three provinces looks healthy, Smother Dark is 70 people, which tells me that that's not normal. There must have been thousands, but as soon as Amor's evil influence seeped down here, it started killing people by the boatloads. As you can see, now that the game is over, we can see the entire underground. Multiple drones, lots of caves, and then of course the exit directly under Amor. It's kind of logical then for them to come out of the underground and laying claim to the surrounding area. Too bad only that after they were finished with Amor, they had only Abysia dying to Asphodel and the gigantic realm of Pythium. Well, Pythium and Marignon were both fairly big, but of course, since everyone was fighting everyone else instead of Asphodel, they could just grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Scaleria, also fairly nice size, but I keep forgetting. Yeah, it's actually fairly small. Just so close in color, and the stupid eagle in death colors instead of gold. My poor eyes, fucking hell. So Scaleria had still more armies. And as we can see, if he had just one or two reliable allies, he could have taken down Asphodel fairly easily. I mean, it's not like we could have up our ally with our only army capable of fighting undead, retooled to fight earth elementals instead. And now those mages and their troops were here. Our double temples here, trying very hard to spread our influence. Our research is now back to 744. Next turn we would have Conjuration 7, which would instantly make all future battles underwater easier, since now our big mages would have gained a spell that allows them to shoot out half a dozen water elementals each. So in the future, earth elementals would have been countered by our own temporary water elementals at a fraction the cost. Still expensive, of course, but we still have most of our shatter mages, since only one of them died, and he died retreating, not on the battlefield actually. So we can now have them researching here, while our backup army, even equipped with some shatter mages for emergencies, slowly rolls everything up. In fact, since there are some beefy water mages in that army, I could just retool them next turn to spit out the Conjuration spell on level 7 water. It's down here. Living water, which means shoot out 4 and 5 medium-sized water elementals, while the other mages then send in 5 or 10 big ones. So this would be in this case then here. Oh, 3. So I guess the level 3 ones, like to save on games, they would shoot out something like in a real big battle for a 12 until they start running out of games and scripting. 12 big ones, and I guess this one would be something like 10 medium-sized ones or something. So we could, very easily get over 20 per battle, together with our shatter mages eating at the earth elementals in front of them. This means in any future battle he would need at least 30 to 40 earth elementals to even have a chance against this army, and it's an army where I have 60 trolls to hold the line. So this army is now, thanks to the shatter mages in Conjuration 7, basically not beatable until he brings an army of the same size he already lost down here, which is a hard tell. Even if he has the mages, and he doesn't, he told us now that the fight is over, that he lost his pretender due to a random event, and now all the mages who can cast earth elementals back down to earth are busy recalling his god for a while. So even if he has enough priests and mages to do this fast, like we did, We probably still have 1 or 2 turns where he can't do anything. And then he needs, even if he has lots of mages, 1 or 2 turns to get enough Earth Elementals back down here. And yeah, so he is basically fucked at this time. I can probably at this point, since I'm recruiting 30 to 60 new frogs in these 2 castles each turn. Hey, you can reach profit. This means I can assemble another force to retake Utter Deep practically any moment. Fucking hell, since he doesn't have Earth Elementals and Super Mind Blasters in large numbers left, I could just send in the army right now and retake that province. So the war underwater is decisively ended in our favor. And if the game would be going right now, well, since I now have a large block of mages ready to research, and he has to use his mages to summon shit or just give up on surviving, this means, well, we're going back to evocation next turn. 7, 8, 24, yeah, so 3 turns, 4 turns if I count this turn. We would reach our evocation 7 in 4 turns. 1, 2, 3, and at that point we'll retake this. So in 4 turns we would have cleared out the entire water region, and I'm guessing Agatha at this time would have regained his god and started assembling a new army capable of going underwater. Plus this time he would have probably tried to use more mages, since yeah, he learned a lesson there. Frogs may be bad nation, but they're not that bad. They're not that bad. Oh my fucking hell, what am I doing here? We're kind of calm and relaxing here. Too bad we can't continue our underwater battles now. Still have no idea, is the guy inside? Probably not, since... Huh. Misjudged the game, apparently. We immediately killed whoever was there then. Darton is still not a forest, but Arkanjab has just given up and is worshipping Asphodel's pretender now. Yeah, our Dominion is the main problem here. I have no idea what this was supposed to be. I'm guessing it was some kind of magic attack by one of our friends. Retaking a province for us. Too bad we just now can't retake it, is because 20 air elementals are kind of a big force, and sadly I'm not sure we can just crack them with shatter mages. It would be nice to try, but the game is over, so no can do. God is still here, looking shifty. He will be evaporating with everyone else next turn. And yeah, that is. We have this weird elongated shape here, since we went underwater. We're still at peace with Pythium for some dumb reason, and with Asphodel. And this Thrones is still unclaimed here, so yeah, that would have been a primary target after this war will be over. After getting those 3 thrones in the Agada, we would have a nice spot at winning, but again, since everyone underestimated Asphodel, instead now the entire world will be turned into a forest. And this world will become a world of plant zombies now. Now, isn't that nice? Any messages? No, still of note. Oh, yeah, unethically sourced enemy girls, the master of Asphodel, is now the real and true god. I have to rewrite our Bibles here, since I don't think God was mentioned to be a huge green dragon. Well, that's it. This run is over. I hope you had fun watching this mess. And I am really feeling lucky that we have at least one big battle positively ending for us near the end. So, and let's see if we can try this again with another god in another nation in the future. My attempts to sink the world will be continuing in another run. Lipluini out, my friends, and thank you for watching. Bye.